What is the function? The way I feel right now, I feel like I need to be all alone. So if you just playing around, you need to tell your girl to the fuck phone. That's real. Stop teasing me. Stop teasing me. I can change your life so easily. I keep begging you to say that you need me. You got six in the club, you need me. I know I'm six, I can leave me. You got money, you got money, you got the morning from one shot for the ground down. What is what's going what's going what's going what's going is it sexy? Is it sexy? Is it Keyshawn? Is it Ashley? Is it Auntie? The function. The function. I thought it was going to be kind of big please.
We're back top of the second inning. Five, six, and seven. Treese, leader. Norton. Facing Potholm. Gets under one, right field. Shallow right coming in with plenty of time is Aiden Sullivan. One away here, top of the second.
At bat number 2, Johnny Fleeter.
This brings up Johnny Fleeter batting .250 this season, 21 hits and 84 at bats. This team can really hit long balls. 54 home runs for this team on the season. And it's not just Gent who has 21 of those home runs. I bring that up because Fleeter has 4. They've hit 54 home runs. They've given up 45. So they're +9 in that category. Compare that to the 38 home runs that the Garnet has hit this year. But Swarthmore's also only given up 23 on the year. So their ratio is better. To right field, right at Aiden Sullivan on a pitch middle out and a 1-out base runner for Haverford. Second hit this afternoon for the Fords.
Now batting number 30, Chuck Norton.
Here is Chuck Norton, the catcher. You have the 2 top stolen base teams in the Centennial Conference going head-to-head today.
And then also
122 stolen bases, 136 attempts. That is a crazy percentage for Haverford. Into the gap. Splits the difference a little bit. Kadar throws it back in, and a couple of base runners at second and third. Still have the 1 out.
now batting number 9, Daniel Rossman.
Now the Garnet's going to try to get the bottom of the order. They have 8 and 9 coming up. Dan Rossman will start things off. Rossman 0 for 6 against the Garnet in the 2 games last week. Bouncer, it'll get through. Couple of runs are going to come in on this single, and a 2-1 lead now for Haverford. First pitch, Rossman liked what he saw. Leader scores. Norton scores. Miles Prusak stands in now. Lefty takes ball one. I believe this is the first lead for Haverford in the 3 games they've played so far. So we had 9 innings times 2 last week, 18 innings plus the 1 today, 19 innings. So it took 20 innings, but Haverford takes its first lead at 2-1 now here in the top of the second. Just foul. 76 miles an hour on the slider. Foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tottenham pitched against Haverford along the main line last Friday. 6 1/3 innings of work, 8 hits. He gave up 5 runs, all earned. And he got the win. That moved him to 6-2 on the year. So both starting pitchers we're seeing today pitched last week against one another. Tottenham pitched on Friday, and Burks pitched here last Tuesday. That pitch comes in. A hit by pitch. And now a dangerous spot for the Garnet here. With a couple of runners on board, just the 1 out. Here is Gent. Gent leads Division III nationally in it. So many different categories. 21 home runs, leads the nation. Home runs per game. RBI, 73. RBIs per game. Runs per game. Total bases, 139 total bases this season. Takes a pitch just missing maybe high in the zone. Got about a half a dozen single season school records. Career records and single season when you look at it. Been hit by pitch 52 times in his time at Haverford. That's a career record. 187 runs scored. That's a career record. To left field, hit pretty well, turning around, but has room at left field and into third base. Throws Matt Silvestri. So they get Gent, and that's a huge out number 2.
How about it, number 11, Jack Wallace.
And the ball not traveling as well today. Usually here at Clothier, the wind blows out maybe towards left center. Today it's blowing in. Gent over 2. He's flown out to Silvestri twice, and this brings up Jack Wallace.
Go.
Wallace comes into today batting .383, but he struggled a little bit as of late. He was hitless in the 2 games against the Garnet last week. Recently, he was batting above 400, so it's a good time for him to get hot for Haverford. Over to the pitcher and to first base, pot home to Khan. The Garnet struggle at the bottom of the order, but they get the job done at the top of the order. Still, Rossman with a 2 RBI single here in the top of the first. 2 runs on 3 hits and a couple left. Moving to the bottom of the second inning. Haverford up 2-1.
Garnet number 40, Brad Johnson.
Brad Johnson stands in now here in the bottom of the second inning. All the parents and friends and family, thank you for joining us on Zoom today. Welcome to 2025. Brad Johnston, your Centennial Player of the Week. We have the last two Centennial Players of the Week going head-to-head today in Gent and Johnston. Johnson average up to 296. It wasn't too long ago, he was batting below 200. So he has absolutely caught fire, and he's done it at the right time. He was platooning a little bit in the DH spot for the first month of the season, maybe first six weeks of the season, sitting more than he was playing. And now he is your everyday guy, and he sees a 3-0 count. This is what happens when you get hot. You have to be a little bit more careful with number 40. And Burt's is one ball away from walking the leadoff batter. And there's 4 pitches and 4 balls and a leadoff base runner for the Garnet here in the second.
And bat number 31, Zach Kahn.
Up comes the 7 hitter, Zach Kahn. Kahn had 5 runs against the Fords last week in those 2 games. Mentioning all the offensive numbers for the Garnet against Haverford. They scored 41 runs in 2 games, so everybody was hitting. Over on the year, Kahn batting 295. Again, right near 300 for a freshman who was originally slotted at first because of his mitt, but he's come through with his bat as well. I think that's happened with a couple of different freshmen this year. Kadar was originally slotted in the lineup because of his mitt, and his bat has come alive as well. Batting 338 this season. 1 ball, 1 strike to Kahn. Takes a pitch inside. 7 pitches here in the second inning for Burt's. 6 of those balls right now. Back over to first. Johnson was only about a foot or 2 off first base. He does have 3 stolen bases in 3 tries this season. I mentioned the 122 stolen bases for Haverford. That's number 1 in the conference. The Garnet in second place with 98 stolen bases. So they're about to hit the century mark if things work out the way they're hoping to today. It's a good pitch at the knees, middle out. That counts now even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. You can see in center field, Rossman shading a little bit to his left now. Look for an off-speed pitch here, possibly. Yep, off-speed. He waits on it nicely. An excellent at-bat for Kahn. That pitch laid up in the zone just a little bit too long. Those off-speed pitches have been the best thing that Burt's has been throwing today. He's been on point until that pitch. And Max Beedling stands in. Playing third base. He's kind of cemented himself over at third in the last 3+ weeks of the season. Batting 287 on the year. Looking the bunt. Pulls back and takes a pitch off the thigh. I'm not sure if the bunt look that he gave Burt's messed up his delivery a little bit. You had Wallace crashing from first, but it doesn't matter. We saw a hit by pitch in the top of the second. We see it here in the bottom of the second. Bases are now loaded for Nate Kittredge in the 9 spot. Opportunity here for a big inning from the Garnet. They'll go back to the top of the order after Kittredge. Haverford playing for a double play up the middle. They would probably love a double play possibility here. Bouncer, foul ball off of Kittredge. No balls and 1 strike to the freshman. We talked about the 2 freshmen so far today in center field and at first base for the Garnet. Here's another one in Kittredge. "34 hits on the year, batting .239. He has started in every single game this season for the Garnet. The 0-1. Fastball high. One ball, 1 strike to Kittredge. Takes a crack at one. He's now behind the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Outstanding support today. The stands are, you can't see it from your angle, but they are pretty much full. You can see probably out in left center field above the Garnet sign. The area in front of the dorm is getting a lot of attention here today on such a beautiful day. Here's the 1-2 coming your way. The delivery. Waits on one. Garnet doing pretty waiting on some of these off-speed pitches. They've seen Burt's before, obviously, just 7, not even 7 days ago, 9 days ago, excuse me, last week ago, Tuesday. And obviously they study these pitchers. They knew who they might see. And they have the book on Burt's. Of course, it works both ways. Burt's has the book on these hitters as well. He's seen these hitters too. Here comes the 1-2. Another foul ball. So if nothing else, this is driving out the pitch count. Haverford probably does have every pitcher available today, with the exception of Riley Grokowski and Sam Cohen. That's the 2 top starters for this team. They pitched on Sunday. Both pitched 100-plus pitches, so you will not see them today. They will both be slated for Saturday if Haverford can get far enough into Saturday. So left center field, shallow. Rossman is there, forcing a throw home, and safe at the plate on the sac fly to tie things up. Brad Johnston walked to lead things off, and he scores from third on the sac fly from Kittredge to make it a 2-2 ball game. That throw was excellent from Rossman, by the way. He made that play very difficult. But just getting under the tag is Johnston. So the quality at bat for Kittredge. Runner still at first and second now for Kadar, who grounded out to the shortstop in his first at bat. Haverford did a good job of pretending for a second that they might cut that ball off coming home, and that kept the runners at first and second. That pitch misses somewhere. 1 ball, no strikes. A lot of times, if that ball's coming home, you might see the runner, at least from second, maybe tag up and go to third. But if they had cut that ball off, that would have been trouble for Khan, who's at second base. So they play conservative. There's a good pitch. Slider maybe away. Dart 330 heading into today. His 12 doubles lead the Garnet. They could use one right here. Thought that ball was going to be high, but it hits the strike zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the freshman. Max Rothwarg is on deck. We have a time. I think a ball got away behind. You can kind of see it there. I'm looking at the angle you guys have. That's amazing. Again, you're 1-2. That pitch high. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. From the stretch, you're 2-2. Another time. And that's a pitch clock violation. And that's a ball. So 3 balls and 2 strikes now. It was taking Bert's too long. Yeah, the field umpire, he's the one keeping time. Now with a full count. Big pitch here. And that one misses high and tight. So Bert's loses Kadar. And once again, the bases are loaded for Max Rothwar.
How batting number 18, Max Rothward.
2 walks and a hit by pitch in this inning. And here comes a meeting on the hill. Second time through the order for the Garnet. So they've seen Bert's today as well. See how that impacts the freshman. Had a very nice year for a freshman. Again, the 33 innings. Batting average against him, 298. Bert's is 5'11" from Nazareth. Now he's got Max Rothwar to deal with. Max grounding out to the third baseman in his first at bat. He's got 3 guys on in his second at bat. A chance to really do some damage here. Again, a good looking pitch. That pitch tailing away a little bit. Looks like a slider tailing away a little bit from the righties. Something to the right side would likely score a run here. Rothwar needs to make contact here with the 1 out. Corners are up just a little bit on the edge of the grass, and Prusak and Wallace. Middle of the infield playing for a double play. The 0-2. Ooh. Now they're trying to figure out whether that was a swing and a miss or whether that hit him. Genth wanting to talk to the umpires, and the umpire tells Genth to go back to second base. So 3 of them are going to get together. 3 umpires here in the postseason, by the way, not the regular 2. You're going to have an unhappy coach on one side of the field with this decision. Whether it's Midkiff or Beccaria. And they're calling him out. Now here comes Matt Midkiff.
That's first I put it out.
Midkiff wanting to talk to the home plate umpire about that decision. The big call early in this game. You got the bases loaded instead of 1 out, and it may be hit by pitch. You now have 2 outs. Midkiff asking the field umpires how you overrule that call from the home plate umpire. So now with 2 outs, again, a big moment in this game as Rothwar officially strikes out. Aiden Sullivan 1 for 1 with the single up the middle and scoring. Playing Sullivan straight up right now. That pitch outside. Nowhere to put him. They're going to have to come at Sullivan here. 1 ball, no strikes to the junior. Scored for the 54th time in his last at bat. Bounces one off speed. Counts even 1-1. Time at third, Beedling at second. And a pitch just missing with Kadar over at first. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Sullivan. The stretch and the pitch. High in the zone. Now nowhere to put him on the 3-1. He's got to throw a strike here. If not, ball 4 will score a run. The good position. Good place to be for Sullivan right now. Fastball at the knees. The count's full now. Birch needs another one of those pitches to get out of this jam. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The runners will be moving on the pitch. Got about 50 students up on the railing in left center field in front of the dorm. Your pitch. Right center field. This is going to drop. 3 runs are going to score. In comes Khan. Ryan Beedling. Rounding third is Kadar into third. A bases clearing triple for Aiden Sullivan and a 5-2 lead for the Garnet. Talk about a big swing of the bat. He knew Burke had to throw him a strike or was going to score a run. And the junior made him pay. 4 runs here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Sullivan's 3rd triple of the season. And here's another hot batter with more damage at third base. And strike number 1 to Matt Silvestri, who doubled down the line in right field in his first at bat. That scored Sullivan all the way from first, this time just 90 feet away for Sullivan. Up the middle. In comes run number 5 here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Overall, a 6-2 ball game. Matt Silvestri now 2 for 2. Sullivan 2 for 2. Silvestri 2 for 2. And a 6-2 lead for the Garnet. They answer in a big way here in the bottom of the 2nd off the 2 runs from Haverford in the top of the 2nd. Ben Buckman now struck out to end the 1st inning. Going to try to extend the 2nd inning here. Pitch coming in on, he fouls it to the left side. For those of you who keep up with Swarthmore athletics across the board, the softball team is going to play a game starting at 4 o'clock today against Muhlenberg in the playoffs. The Garnet, the ladies, are the top seed in the softball bracket. Down the 2nd, a little bit of a delayed steal. Safe at second base. Nice quick tag by Scro, but unable to get Silvestri. For Silvestri, stolen base number 10 this season. He's now in scoring position and a 1-1 count to Ben Buckman. A lot of room in right center field. That's where a lot of the balls have gone today, but they're giving him room out there. Gets fooled on the off-speed pitch. So he's behind 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here comes the 1-2. Bouncer over to first. This should do it. Unassisted is Wallace. But an absolutely huge inning for the Garnet as they put up a 5 spot here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. 5 runs on 3 hits. Couple of walks and hit by pitch didn't help Haverford in that frame. It is 6-2 moving to the third.
Back of the boards, number 36, Jackson Stroh.
Top of the third, Jackson Scrone, Anthony Ronfola, Luke Treese. A 6-2 ball game. Parents, thank you so much, and family, for joining us on my Temple University Zoom. Noah Potholm, giving up 2 runs on the 4 hits so far. Scrow is the one guy who has owned the Swarthmore so far. Again, this team struggled offensively in the 2 losses to the Garnet last week, but Scrow was not one of those guys. Popped up left side, and that will get out of play. Scrow was 2 for 5 in game number 2, and then you go back to the game here, he was 3 for 3. So 5 hits in 8 at bats. Scored 3 runs as well, 2 RBIs. And he's now the second leader in terms of average on Haverford. Came in at 427, and he's 1 for 1 today. Hits the ball hard into the gap in left center field, going over to get it. Not able to get it. It bounces at the wall. Kadar goes down and into second base. And we have Kadar down at the fence as he hit that fence trying to make what would have been an incredible catch in left center field. Rothwar going out to see him, as is Sullivan from right field. He's sitting up now. That's a scary scene out there when you go up against that fence. He's right below the players at the dorm, or the the fans, the students at the dorm. So the trainer goes out to make sure that the freshman center fielder is okay. He had an awkward play last week as well. I believe that was on Sunday's doubleheader when he got kind of caught up with Sullivan going into right center field. He was kind of going to his left. And now he's down again. And you saw the dirt fly up, so he was right on the edge of the fence when he went down. He's back on his feet. You can hear some of the clapping from the students out in left center field. Now you hear the clapping here. It looks like he'll stay in the game. They're giving him a second to catch his breath. But that's some good news with Kadar staying in the game. The other game being played in the playoffs today is the one against the 4 seed. That's Hopkins hosting McDaniel. And right now that game is 6-4. Hopkins in the lead in the third. So a lot of fireworks at that game. Hopkins scoring 2 in the bottom of the first. McDaniel coming back with 4 in the top of the second, but then Hopkins scoring 4 in the bottom of the second to make it 6-4. Back to the action here again. So Scro continues to terrorize Swarthmore pitching. That's hit number 7 in the 2+ games these two teams have played so far for Scro. This brings up Runfola. Number 19 grounded out to Kittredge in his first at bat. A 7-iron to center field, and obviously Kadar is perfectly fine. At least he looks perfectly fine. That's how it goes with the baseball god. The ball just seems to find the player that might be nicked up or the player that just came in possibly with a substitution. And when Fuller hit that ball hard, say more like a 5-iron possibly to center field, left center field. That keeps Scuro at second base and Treese at the plate. Hard, but right at the right fielder in Sullivan. And once again, because Scuro was leaning off second base on contact, he has to retreat back to second. And Sullivan does a nice job getting the ball in. So a couple of pitches after that double by Scro from Runfull and Treese, and now 2 outs for Fleeter. Hopple trying to get out of this top of the third after giving up a double to start the inning.
Buck.
Fleeter singled in the second inning and scored a run. He was one of the 2 runs that Haverford scored in the top of the second. Popped one up foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Trying to get you some pitch speeds and pitch counts on Podhome is difficult with the setup I have here today, but let's see what I can do. Try to get you on this pitch. We'll see what he brings out. Looks like a slider at 77. Tailing away from the righty. 2 balls and 1 strike, though, now to Fleeter. That was a fastball. 82 miles an hour. And Podhome is 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. You got the runner at second. You're going to see a pumped up Swarthmore bench if he can get this strike here. Bouncer to third. Stepping on third, but there's no force play there, so he throws over to first, and the tag feed lane to Khan. Khan was hit up a little bit there, but not a bad inning for the Garnet. Some bumps and bruises here at the top of the third. Kadar and then Khan in center field and right field, but again, the Garnet work around that leadoff double. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Moving to the bottom of the third, 6-2. It's family and friends. This is something you don't often hear. It's just us murmuring between innings or between the top and the bottom. Bottom of the third, Brad Johnston leading things off.
Brad Johnston.
Johnston, Kahn, and Beedling here in the bottom of the third in a 6-2 ball game. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Haverford. 6 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Garnet. And Johnson sees his first strike of the day. He walked in his last at bat on 4 pitches. Johnson with 5 hits in the 2 games against Haverford last week. That included a home run in each of the 2 games. Actually, 2 home runs in the second game. So 3 home runs in the 2 games against the Fords. No balls and 2 strikes. Bouncer over to third. And a strong throw from Prusak to Wallace. And that's a big out. Anytime you can get Johnson lead things off in an inning, that's a win for the Fords. Zach Kahn now, who's singled and scored in his last at bat. The Garnet hit 7 home runs in the 2 games against Haverford last week. That pitch high. We see some hard hit balls this afternoon, but again, it's going to take a real good swing of the bat to put one out of the park today. Straight back. It counts even 1 ball, 1 strike. All 4 teams left in the Centennial Conference right now. The 2 you see here, Haverford, Swarthmore down in Baltimore, Johns Hopkins, and McDaniel all will head to Baltimore this weekend. This is a double elimination tournament after that opener on Tuesday, that playing game, if you will, from the 4 or 5 seeds. The 2 winners here will move into the winners bracket. The 2 losers will start things off on Saturday in a must-win situation. But again, all 4 teams will head south. Gets under one to right field. Treese is there. A little bit of wind pushes him around a little bit, but he gets out number 2. Here's Max Beedling. Hopkins is the 1 seed, the Garnet 2nd seed, Haverford the 3rd seed, and McDaniel with a win over Gettysburg on Tuesday. That was a 4 seed over a 5 seed, so Gettysburg's season is over. Gettysburg does pick up 30 wins on the year with all the wins they had in non-conference play. Struggled a little bit once they got in the conference. Barely made the playoffs. Made the playoffs on the last day of the regular season. The 1-0. Bouncing in on number 1. Beedling hit by pitch and scored in his first at bat. Now he's got some dirt in his eye, it looks like. A hitter's count for the senior from California. 3 balls and no strikes. Garnet wants a base runner. My guess is you'll see Beedling take a pitch here. I would bring up Nate Kittredge, and at worst case scenario, it turns over the order. Good looking fastball for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike to the senior. You're 3-1. That bounces in. A 2-out base runner for the Garnet.
How about number 24, Nate Kittredge?
Here comes Nate Kittredge. Third walk of the afternoon for Burks. He also got the hit by pitch, so 4 free passes. And here comes the head coach, which leads me to believe we have a pitching change, and we do. As Coach Beccaria points down to the bullpen. So Burks is done for the afternoon, pitches 2 2/3 innings, gives up the 6 runs. He's responsible for the runner at first as well. And I'll take a step back and we'll take a look at the new pitcher and start things off again here in the bottom of the third, a 6-2 ball game. The Garnet out in front.
Now pitching for the fourth, number 43, Doyle.
Take it away, darling. I take it away, darling. Yeah, she said I knew it. Yeah, 'cause I know that she's a woman. She's the one I go back to the future, so I brought that girl under the rim. 21 minutes until I go, so I
Next year, make it.
I'm at that girl top of my show. Every man in the crowd of my I don't know what's all. They know that if they don't get it wrong. Listen, I feel like my city show. But I treat it like my city show. 20 more minutes and 20 more. 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 If you want me, I got that. Like a right on my friend. See, I'm bring her down tomorrow. I need that. I need some. I'm out of mind, girl. I gotta go to the galaxy. Tonight's my show. If you don't pick my show. Walk right out of my nose. Mags like Mags. Gotta be going on time of my I'm just analyzing it out, bro. So I got I'll be at it next year, bro. Something like money is all the time. I am so clean up my
We're back underway here, bottom of the third inning. A new pitcher, Drew Doyle, number 40, stands in. Doyle's a righty, 6'2", from Woolwich, New Jersey. One of the regulars to come out of the pen, a 6.38 ERA, 12 appearances on the year, all in relief. And his 12 relief appearances, 18 1/3 innings. So he's used to pitching about 1+. His first pitch fouled away by Nate Kittredge. Kittredge, a quality at bat in his first at bat. Sacrifice RBI to left field. The 0-1 gets fooled on that one. Good job of a ball just dying in the dirt. From the stretch, you're 0-2. Strike number 3. Kittredge is looking for something off speed. He got a fastball down the pike. And Doyle does what he needs to do to get Haverford out of the bottom of the third. No runs, no hits, 1 left. We played 3 full. It is 6-2. The Garnet up by 4.
Passing towards number 30, Chuck Norton.
Looking at 7, 8, and 9 here in the top of the fourth inning. A 6-2 ball game. Garnet out in front. Norton, Rossman, Prusak. Ball hit pretty well, but foul down the line in left field. Norton gets ahead of that one with Pothome on the hill. To center field coming in, and he won't get there in time. And a leadoff base runner here in the fourth. Norton now 2 for 2. He's got a double and a single. Pothome has been efficient through 3 innings before these last 2 pitches. 35 pitches through 3. That borders on the excellent category. Anything less than 10, 12, or about 15 pitches an inning is excellent. A bunt attempt on the first pitch, and Rossman would like that one back. 1 out as it went right to Pothome. That's about the easiest out he's going to get all afternoon. So now 1 down, and here's Prusak. But 1 out here in the fourth, still under 40 pitches on the afternoon for Pothome. Prusak hit by pitch in his first at bat. Then we're going back to the top of the order. He takes a strike. I mentioned to you earlier, the softball game is underway. Muhlenberg, 21-18 against the Garnet, looking for win number 30 this year. They're 29-9. They have the number 1 seed, so the weekend tournament will be here. And there's no score in the second. The pitch misses. Going to say inside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Prusak. Number 25, a freshman from Richmond, Virginia. Right at the shortstop. A couple of hard hit balls, but the Garnet positioned very well with Rothward picking up out number 2.
Now batting number 1, Harry Gent.
We're back to the top of the order with Gent. Gent being looked at by MLB teams heading to the Reds pre-draft camp, down to second. Ball goes into center field on the throw and stopped at third base. That's Norton. He drew the throw from Buckman, but took an odd bounce where it hit the grass, I think, and the dirt, a lip between the two. So you got that runner at third now. You got the 2 outs with Genth. Again, MLB scouts are looking at this guy heading to Cincinnati for a pre-draft invite. He's also been invited to the pre-draft summer collegiate program. He takes a strike there. 7 Division III players in 2024 were drafted. He's hoping to continue that. Hearing his name when the draft rolls around. Bouncer foul. He has been, well, I'll mention that in a little bit. I don't want to jinx either team right now. Opening up my big mouth. But I mentioned that pre-draft summer collegiate league. He pops one up and foul. 52 players in that pre-draft league were drafted by MLB teams last year. That was a record. So he's putting himself in a position to be seen by all the major league teams. There's 6 teams in that pre-draft league. And they get him a drop third strike. They're 2 outs. They just need to throw down the first, and they do. Gent 0 for 3 today. And he strikes out to end the 4th. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Moving to the bottom of the 4th, it is still 6-2.
About for the Garnet, number 22, Leor Kadar.
Back to the top of the order. Our 3rd time around for the Garnet here in the 4th. Leor Kadar, Max Rothlark, Aiden Sullivan. Kadar walked and scored in his last at bat. And takes a ball from Drew Doyle in relief of David Burtz. Burtz going 2 1/3 innings. 2 2/3, excuse me, giving up the 6 runs on 5 hits. Holds off a appeal down to first base. Again, we have 3 umpires here in the postseason. Two balls, no strikes to Kadar. 3 balls, no strikes on the fastball. You're 3-0, and that comes inside. And again, a leadoff base runner.
About number 18, Max Rothlark.
Three passes have hurt Haverford so far today. Johnston walked, he scored. Kadar walked in his last at bat and this at bat. He scored in his last at bat as well. Beasley was hit by pitch. He scored. So these free passes have not been friends to the Fords. And we have Max Rothwarg up now. Wonder if he'll lay down a bunt here. We'll see if they play some small ball. This one hit up the middle, but standing in the right spot. 6-3 on the putout. One pitch into the second batter. And now 2 outs quickly here in the bottom of the fourth. Hit pretty well by Rothwarg, but you had Scrow ranging to his left a little bit to cover that runner in case he picked up a stolen base going first to second and Kadar, and that made it an easy 6-3 double play. It doesn't get much easier than that. Here's Aiden Sullivan with the biggest hit of the afternoon. A bases loaded triple for Sullivan. That was a big part of that 5-run bottom of the second inning. Sullivan 2 for 2. He's got a single and a triple. Takes a pitch catching the outside part of the plate. Great atmosphere here today on campus between the baseball game and the softball game. Speaking of the softball game, that ball heading right towards the softball field. Yeah, man. Still 0-0 between Swarthmore and Muhlenberg in the second inning. The 0-2. Foul. Hopkins now is up real big on McDaniel, 11-4 in the fourth inning. After giving up 4 runs in the top of the second inning, Hopkins has come back to score 9 straight. The 0-2 again. Hit pretty well to left field, going back at the fence and making a nice play is Johnny Fleeter. He needed to do a 360, but he picks up out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning of sorts here in the top of the fourth, thanks to the double play after the walk to Kadar. Excuse me, in the bottom of the fourth. We played 4 full here at Clothier. It is 6-2. Garnet in the lead. Wallace Scrow run full of in the top of the fifth inning for the Fords. They trail by 4. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the visitors. 6 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Garnet. Here on the Matt Fine Zoom network. Powered by Temple University, actually. My day job. Wallace 0 for 2. Mentioned Wallace came into today 0 for his last 12, so he's 0 for his last 14, struggling a little bit. And that changes right there down the line. I jinxed him into left field into the corner. Wallace does a good job jumping on a pitch, middle in, and a leadoff double. And Wallace, you know he wanted that.
Now batting number 36, Jackson Swat.
Great job by number 11. And this brings up a very dangerous bat in Scro. Scro already with a single and a double. Hit one off the wall in left center field that hobbled Kadar for a bit. It's a good-looking fastball from Noah Potholm, who still has a pitch count very low through 4+. Slider, 73 miles an hour. They're being careful with Scro right now. And why not? This guy's been absolutely tearing the ball apart. 79 miles an hour on the fastball, tailing away a little bit from the righty. See if they come with the speed again. Hit well left field, but it'll stay in the park. Silvestri's there. There's been at least 3 or 4 balls hit well enough to left field today that maybe on a normal day,
Now batting number 19,
they have the possibility of leaving the yard. But the wind is knocking it down here at Clothier. It's not often this field plays big, but it's playing pretty big today. 1 out now for Runfola. 0 for 2. Grounded out to the second baseman, flew out to center field. Gets under his first pitch. Shallow center coming in. Kadar. A couple of pitches now and a couple of outs.
Now
Luke
batting
Treese.
number 10, Luke Treese.
He has flown out to right field twice. Outfielders are very busy. Sullivan has made 2 outs in right field. You have Silvestri's made 3 in left field. Kadar's made a couple in center field. As that pitch tags number 10. So back to second base goes Wallace, and over to first is Treese. Second hit by pitch this afternoon for Potholm.
2, Johnny Fleeter.
Now here's Johnny Fleeter, singled and grounded out to Max Beedling in his 2 at-bats. And you're going to need a minute here. Priest is trying to walk things off. Took it right on the ankle bone. You can see him pointing to it. Trying to see if you guys can actually see that. If you can't, from your angle, he's right along first base. Talking to the trainer. Now he's jogging off a little bit into right field. So he'll definitely stay in, but he's going to have a nice bruise on that ankle. Priest is a 6-foot sophomore from Hightstown, New Jersey. We're back underway here in a 6-2 ball game. You got the 2 outs. With some problems on the bases. Wallace at second, Treese at first. For Fleeter, who does again have a single and a run scored. First pitch gets under one. coming over and calling it as Kittredge into foul territory, but gets the out. And that's all that counts. Out number 3 here in the 5th. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. You're halfway through the first round of the playoffs for the 2-3 seeds. It is 6-2. The Garnet holding on by a 4-run lead.
How are you doing? Okay.
Back for the Garnet, number 23, Matt Sylvester.
Bottom of the 5th. 4, 5, and 6. Silvestri, Buckman, Johnston. 6-2 your score, with Doyle still on the hill. Off speed. Breaking ball. No balls and 1 strike. The 0-1. Hit 1 to center field. Rossman going back at the fence. And again, the ball tagged by Silvestri, but the wind is knocking everything down today. And Rossman did a good job of adjusting 1 out here in the 5th.
Now batting number 12, Ben Buckman.
Silvestri was 2 for 2 before that hard hit ball to center field. And again, that's easy off the wall on a regular day here at Clothier. Ben Buckman now stands in 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out. Fastball for a strike. 6-2 your score. 6 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Haverford. 6 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Garnet. So Haverford out hitting Swarthmore so far today by 2. But the Garnet has turned some mistakes by Haverford into runs. And what I mean by mistakes, talking about free bases. Some walks, hit by pitch, and that big 3-run triple by Aiden Sullivan. 0-2 now. Fastball out of the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes for Buckman. A lot of seniors on this team playing their final game here at Clothier. Pretty much no matter what happens today, they are not coming back to Swarthmore in this season. Even if the Garnet run the table down in Hopkins and they were to make a regional in the NCAAs, they would likely be on the road. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Buckman. Off the hands and foul. Person cheering down at the softball field. Try to give you an update on that. Yeah, the cheering has led to a run, 1-0. Garnet is taking a lead over Muhlenberg in the bottom of the 3rd. Left field, playable for Fleeter. A couple of flyouts for center field and now left field.
Now batting number 40, Brad Johnson.
Brad Johnson stands in now 0 for 1. He walked and scored. That came back in the second inning. It's got a little bit cloudy here. It started out sunny at Clothier. A lot of zeros on the board after those first 2 innings. We saw all 8 runs that we've seen today have come in the first 2 innings of work for both teams. Really nice mix by Doyle. Goes off speed low on Johnson. He goes fishing for strike number 1, then comes up high with some heat. And Johnson's in a hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Centennial Conference Player of the Week. Fly ball, right center field. Rossman calls off Treese, and 3 flyouts. Couple to center field, 1 to left, and a quick 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the 5th. We've played 5 full at Clothier at 6-2.
Yo le iba a grabar, pero en baja calidad. Y ella me dijo que no está, una maldita loca, una ratatá. Ella lo que quiere es que la ponga en 4K. Ah, ah, ah. Acá. Tiene que beberte, mamito, te china acá. Si tu mujer se pasa conmigo, la vamos acá por este loco. Las mujeres botan más agua que la acá. Los chihuahuas, ande para tu torre de una guagua. A ver, te prendo. Cuando que te me vuelve a tener un televisor. Con la ponemos 4K. Televisor. Con la ponemos 4K. Ah, ah, ah,
Top of the 6th. 7, 8, and 9. Norton, Rothman, Prusak
Chuck Norton.
facing Noah Podholm. 56 pitches for Podholm through 5. That's a crazy good number for number 33. Podholm coming in with a 5.18 ERA against 6-2 on the year. Very likely an all-conference selection when those are announced next week. The first time Podholm pitched against Haverford, he went 6 1/3. So he did go into the 7th inning in that win. The 1-1 hit well to center field. And coming in is Kadar. The ball is just staying up in the air for these outfielders right now.
Now batting number 9, Daniel Rossman.
Daniel Rossman stands in his 3rd at bat. He's 1 for 2. Singled in the 2nd inning. First pitch misses. A bouncer. This will be a tough play for Kittredge. Off his back foot, makes a nice play. Does the freshman. Freshman to freshman. Kittredge, Pecan, 2 outs in the 6th.
Now batting number 25, Miles Prusak.
There's Prusak. His 2nd at bat. Hit by pitch in his 1st at bat. Also hit one right at Max Rothward in his 2nd at bat. Again, you want to get Prusak here And then in the seventh inning, face the top of the order with nobody on. The 0-1 becomes 1-1. Fouled away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. To number 25. Again, the infielder. Bats lefty, throws righty from Virginia. One, two. Hit well to right field. This is tailing foul, though. And it one hops the wall in foul territory, so we stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes. 319 down the left field line here at Clothier, 320 to right field, 339 to left center field. Then it jets out in center field and right field, 377 towards the power alley in right center. Here's the 1-2. Bouncer over to first. And flipping to the pitcher is Khan to Podholm. And a 1-2-3, top of the 6th inning for Noah Podholm. A 6-2 ball game. Moving now to the bottom of the 6th inning. Come back on the Matt Fine Zoom Sports Network.
Down for the Garnet, number 31, Zach Khan.
Bottom of the 6th, Zach Khan. Max Rothwark, Aiden Sullivan. Drew Doyle's done an excellent job since he has come in relief for Burtz. Neither team has scored since the 2nd inning. After that 2nd inning, I thought we might see one of those double-digit games for both teams, but things have settled down so far since then. Fastball catching the inside part of the plate. No balls and 2 strikes to Khan. 1 for 2. He has singled and scored. The last 4 outs for Haverford have come on fly balls, 2 to left field and 2 to center field. Your 1-2 flies outside a little bit. Counts even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right back at the pitcher. And look what I found, says Drew Doyle. Didn't realize it for a second that it was even in his mitt, but number 4 does a great job. Keeps his composure. And 1 out here in the 6th. Second of the 2 Maxes in the starting lineup, Max Beedling. Batting out the 8th spot. Beedling hit by pitch and scored a run. He has also walked. Beedling has reached twice today without swinging the bat of sorts. Just gets a piece of that one. That gets Chuck Norton in an awkward spot. I believe there's 50% of the population in the United States, or actually around the world, realizes that does not feel good. Another 50% can imagine that it doesn't feel very good. And they will give him as much time as he needs. And believe me. 1 ball, 1 strike to Max Beedling. He takes one to right center field. Looks pretty good there. Rounding first, testing the arm of Treese, and slides into second base. Max Beedling, a 1-out double.
Now batting number 24, Nate Kittredge.
That breaks up 6 straight outs for Doyle. And if you add the double play in there, it's actually 8 straight batters down, dating back to the 3rd inning when he came in. That's, in fact, the first hit he has given up. Second base runner has given up. He also walked Kadar, but he was wiped out thanks to a double play. Beedling reaching for the 3rd time today, and here's Nate Kittredge. Do have the 1 out. Ball gets away down to 3rd. And a strike to Kittredge, but now you got some insurance at 3rd base with just the 1 out. This changes up a lot. Would try a suicide squeeze this year, also a safety squeeze. You do have the infield in now. That's going to make it a little bit more.
Sorry.
Prusak, Skro, Genth, and Wallace all in on the grass. Bouncer, a diving play by the 3rd baseman, Skro over to 1st, and that saves a run. How about that freshman? It's good across the board. Very well could be your conference rookie of the year. I think between Skro and Kadar, you have the 2
Okay.
in the league. Either one deserving of the conference rookie of the year award.
That's a heron.
Back to the top of the order, Kadar.
Please mute if not broadcasting.
And grounded out. And he takes one right on the noggin. That pitch just gets away from Doyle. And that's why we wear helmets, right? And down the first base goes Kadar. He has walked twice now and been hit by pitch.
Number 18, Max Longford.
So once again, as I mentioned just a second ago, you really 2 of the top freshmen in the league right on the field together. And here comes Coach Beccaria. And looks like we have our 3rd pitcher of the day. Drew Doyle, give him a round of applause. He has pitched excellent today in relief of Burt's as he walks off, and there's the ovation that he deserves. Number 40 has done an excellent job, the 6'2" junior from New Jersey. going to take a step away and find out who's on the mound for you, and we'll come back with more action here in the bottom of the sixth inning. A couple of runners at the corners, 2 outs, a 6-2 ball game.
Yeah, started.
Hmm?
So I was used to behind us today. Right over the normal.
Now pitching for the Fords, number 31, Jack Couture.
I'm ready.
At bat for the Garnet, number 18, Max Crawford.
Here's Max Rothwark facing the new pitcher on the hill. Number 31, Jack Couture. That name sounds familiar. He just pitched last week against the Garnet in that Friday game at Haverford. 5 innings, 11 hits, gave up 11 runs, all earned. So he struggled in the loss. Now he's coming in relief. Goes the other way and foul. No balls and 2 strikes to Rothwark with the runners at the corners. Oh, 2. And he gets Rothwark on the off speed. So Couture comes in and gets the job done with those runners at the corners as the Garnet strand that runner at third with less than 2 outs. We have played 6 full. It is 6-2. Swarthmore out in front. Hi, all. If you're listening to me, do your best to keep yourselves on mute. I'm checking all the mutes. I think that almost everybody is on mute, but there might be a couple of people who are not. And I don't have the ability. I'm looking for the ability. I know I have. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Okay, I think I've muted everybody. I was looking for that. Okay, I think we got it. So again, everybody should be muted. But definitely leave me any chat notes if you'd like, and I'll try to do my best to make it work. Okay, back to the game. One, two, and three here in the seventh inning for Haverford. Starting with Gent, Wall, Scrow. Gent 0 for 3 today. I know you see my hat and face popping every once in a while. I apologize. Just trying to make sure you guys see things well. Gent behind the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Big pitch by Potholm here. Bouncer to third. Strong throw. And Gent 0 for 4 today.
At bat, number 11, Jack Wallace.
Again, I can't tell you if you're a Swarthmore fan how important and how difficult it is to get number 1. 1 out now, and here's Wallace. Joe's bunt pulls back and takes ball number 1. Hopkins well on its way to winning game number 1 in their playoff run. Blue Jays are up 15-4 now over McDaniel. They've scored 13 straight runs to open up this game. So you'd have to think Hopkins will stay in the winner's bracket now on Saturday. Question is, who are they going to play? That ball flared foul by Wallace, who was 1 for 3, doubled in his last at bat. On Saturday, the 2 losers from today will play first in the morning in Baltimore. Then the 2 winners will play. Bouncer again over to third. Another strong throw and holding the bag. How about Zach Kahn? That's why the freshman's there. Couple of 5-3 putouts to get Gent and Wallace.
Now batting, number 36, Jackson Stroh.
There is a reason that Kahn is over at first, and it's because of the mitt. If you guys remember in 2020, if you know your Swarthmore history, first pitch, and you can't stop Scrow right now. Down the line, rounding first, coming into second. Scrow has done just about everything. Again, his 3rd hit of the afternoon.
Now batting, number 19.
He is the guy that the Garnet has been unable to get. 3 for 4 today, and remember, he was 3 for 3 in game number 1 between these 2 teams last week. He was 2 for 5 in game number 2. So he continues to tear apart the ball, and here's Runfola. So again, getting back to what I was saying, a little bit of history for the Swarthmore fans out there. Coach Matt Midkiff says that Zach Kahn reminds him, watch out, deep to left field. I'll get back to this in a second. That ball is gone. A 2-run home run, and this game has gotten much, much tighter. Thanks to the bat of Anthony Runfola, the designated hitter, his first hit of the afternoon and the first home run of the afternoon. Scrow scores in front of him. 6-4 is your ball game right now in the 7th inning. A meeting on the hill now. After the two quick outs off Genth and Wallace, you're thinking that this seventh inning is going to be a good one for the Garnet. But then Scro hits the ball real hard to left field, picks up a double. Runfola hits one over the wall.
At bat, number 10.
6-4 is your score right now. And Luke Treese stands in. Again, I want to get this thought out to you. I've mentioned it a couple of times, but haven't been able to finish it because Haverford's offense has come alive. But Zach Kahn and his mitt, Coach Midkiff says that Kahn reminds him a lot of Cole Beaker, who was a 2020 grad and was a real big part of that 2018 team that made a run. He was a first baseman, great fielder, big kid, and did a great job over at first base for the time he was here. And Coach Midkiff says Zach Kahn reminds him a lot of Cole Beaker. And I think you saw it there on that second out of the inning, the one that Wallace hit over to Beedling. Beedling with the throw a little bit offline, but close enough that Kahn was able to hold the bag. It's now 1-1 to Treese. Make that 1 ball and 2 strikes now. A 2-run home run by Runfola. That was the first runs scored in this game dating back to the second inning. Gets under one. Left side making chase. Beedling runs out of room. Treese stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Did he go? They say he did, and that will do it for Haverford here in the top of the 7th. But a productive inning for the Forge. They've got themselves back into this game. 2 runs on 2 hits, nobody left. The bomb by Runfola has made it a 6-4 ball game.
Friend, your name on the flyer. You wanna tell your desire, but you like the kind of your aim getting higher. And the way for the fire, I'm so not I'm a rise up. I'm a light in the air. I wanna see you anyway.
Number 20, Aiden Sullivan.
We've stretched, moving to the bottom of the 7th now. Sullivan, Silvestri, Buckman, meet of the order. A 6-4 ball game now. Garnet looking for some insurance. They haven't scored since the 2nd inning. And this guy had the big hit in that 2nd inning. Sullivan, a 3 RBI triple. He is 2 for 3. Single, tripled, and flew out to left field. Third pitcher of the afternoon. Couture in. Doyle did an excellent job in relief. He's the big reason you see so many zeros on the board for the Garnet. At the knees, 1 ball and 2 strikes. One of the big differences between Sullivan and what you'll see out of many college baseball players, when he falls behind, he does not panic. Can't guarantee how this at bat will go, but he does not get nervous about falling from behind. To left field, skies one. Leader, and that's 1 out here in the 7th.
Batting number 23, Matt Sylvester.
Here comes Matt Silvestri. Silvestri a single and a double. He's flown out to center field. Hit the ball hard to center field. Really lined out to center field. Give the Haverford Arms a lot of credit. This team, again, gave up 41 runs in 2 games against the Garnet last week. And then they gave up 6 runs in the first 2 innings, but they have shut things down since then. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch missing low. Silvestri's another guy that doesn't get nervous when he falls behind. He's up in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. But he does such a good job working the count. The ball actually came into our press box. I have not seen that in the 4 years I've been calling games here. I've never seen a ball come into our press box. Abby did a good job. Did not flinch. You're 2-2. That pitch comes in and catches Silvestri. A 1-out base runner, number 23, heads down to first base.
Outside number 12, Ben Buckman.
Here's Ben Buckman. The 3rd hit by pitch this afternoon for Haverford pitchers. Buckman 0 for 3. He's due. And that would be a great time. We're going to miss it. Some off speed. They're throwing Buckman a heaping helping of off speed pitches right now. He looks down at Coach Booth at third base. Would not be surprised to see Silvestri try to take a bag here. Fastball low and inside to the lefty. Just the 1 stolen base on the afternoon for the Garnet. And that came from Silvestri. Bouncer. This could be trouble. It's going to be a race over to first. Good job by Couture to cover first. The fielder's choice. 3-1 on the putout. Down the second goes Silvestri. So a runner in scoring position now for Brad Johnston. Johnston 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Every at-bat he has had, except for that walk, they've started him off with off speed. And he has swung and missed at them. The 0-1. Bouncer foul. So he's in a hole. No balls and 2 strikes. When we do get to the top of the 8th, we're looking at 6, 7, and 8 for Haverford. Bouncing in, heading back to second. Nice block. Well done by Chuck Norton. Norton's going to need a lot of ice in a lot of places after this game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. You got the runner at second. Garnet looking for a little 2-out magic here with the 2-run lead. Hard hit, left field, going back and gone over the wall. A huge home run. Brad Johnston does it once again. Home run number 9 on the year, and that wipes away the 2-run spot in the top half of the inning for Haverford. An 8-4 ball game.
Now batting number
2
31,
home
Zach
runs
Vaughn.
in this inning, both to left field, both 2-run shots. Brad Johnston staying hot as Silvestri scores in front of him. Again, the hit by pitch hurting Haverford. That's the second batter that has scored today after being hit by pitch. Some really big extra base hits for the Garnet today. The 3-run triple off the bat of Sullivan, a 2-run home run by Brad Johnston, and then a ball up the middle. Zach Kahn keeping things rolling. Kahn with a couple hits today. Here's Max Beedling. I don't have the stats in front of me. It would be a stat that I don't think is kept, but I can just tell you that the Garnet has been excellent this season, especially as of late, picking up runs with 2 outs. They have been very hard on other teams to get that 3rd out. That 3rd out is so difficult, and Swarthmore is making the other teams pay this season, where you're thinking they're going to get out of an inning, and then the Garnet, a hit by pitch, a walk, maybe a single, an extra base hit, and all of a sudden a crooked number on the board, and that's what we have here in the bottom of the 7th. Fastball comes inside on Beedling. Beedling was one of those guys hit by pitch and scored back in the 2nd inning. He has walked, and he has doubled. He's having a heck of a game, defensively and offensively. Bouncing away, far away from the catcher in Norton. That was Wallace who went over to get that ball. So down the second base, and a runner in scoring position on the wild pitch is Kahn. 2 balls and 1 strike to Beedling. We're past the 2-hour mark here at Clothier. First round matchup after that playing game on Tuesday. The first rounder for both of these teams in terms of its double elimination. And you got a 2-1 count to Beedling. Another one bounces away. Actually, it did not. This one hit Beedling, so it's a dead ball. Back to second base goes Kahn, and down to first goes Beedling. The 2 balls, the 2 players hit by pitch in this bottom of the 7th. The first one scored on the home run by Brad Johnston, and now the 9-hitter and Nate Kittredge stands in. Every time Kittredge has been up, he's had guys on base. His first at bat, he got the job done with the sac fly RBI. Then he struck out in the 3rd, and he grounded out to the shortstop in the 6th. With 2 outs, you'd have to think Kahn would score from second base on a hit. Of course, the infield playing straight up with the 2 outs. Freshman at the plate. Strike number 1 to Kittredge. If Kittredge gets on, we go back to Kadar.
That's fine.
Ball bouncing away down to second on the throw, trying to catch Kahn cheating off second. He gets back. It's very difficult to beat a team 3 times in a row, especially in the Centennial Conference, where the competition is just so even between all these teams. 10 teams in the Centennial Conference. Swarthmore trying to do it here today. The 1-1. Swarthmore trying to return the favor to Haverford from 2 seasons ago. Haverford swept Swarthmore during the regular season, then came here on a Thursday playoff game and beat the Garnet here as the lower seed. And that was a 4-5 matchup. It ended Swarthmore's season. Ball in the dirt. Down the first. Tough throw. But they get him at first. That was a little bit more exciting than Haverford probably wanted it to be. Out number 3, but some damage done. Brad Johnston goes deep to left field. The 2 runs put up on the board, and Swarthmore is doubled up. Haverford right now is a move to the top of the 8th inning. It is 8-4.
And I never felt this way before. And I say, this is true. And I owe it all to you. And I never felt this way before. And I swear, this is true. And all to you.
Back to the board, number 2, Johnny Clear.
Top of the 8th inning. 8-4 ball game. Fleeter, Norton, Rossman. Potholm still on the hill. 81 pitches through 7 innings for Noah Potholm. He is having one of his best outings of the year. This is the reason that Coach Matt Mickif says he is a no-brainer for an all-conference selection. 1 ball, 1 strike to Fleeter. He is 1 for 3. He singled and scored in the second. Couple defensive changes for the Garnet. Wilson Hensey is now behind home plate. Ben Buckman moves out to left field. And 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch just missing off the plate. 2-2. Well hit, but foul towards the softball field. Softball team for Swarthmore in a fight right now, trailing Muhlenberg. Again, the pitch just missing. That's 2 balls, maybe a couple of inches off the plate. Muhlenberg over Swarthmore right now, 4-2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-2, and he loses them. Couple pitches that were real close, but did not go Potholm's way, and a leadoff walk for Fleeter. Now a meeting on the hill. Again, because I don't have my computer, I'm really doing everything by hand today, and I believe that is the first walk this afternoon for Home. He does have one batter that he hit, so that's the second free pass, I believe. Nope, 2 hit batters, so that's the third free pass that he's given this afternoon. This is Chuck Norton. Had a nice afternoon. He's 2 for 3. A double, a single, a stolen base, and he has scored a run. Garnet looking for a double play here, trying to roll 2. Leader's one of those guys that can run 11 stolen bases on the year. He's 11 for 11. There's 6 different players on Haverford with double-digit stolen base totals on the year. Gent leads the way. One ball, one strike. We have 12 runs between the two teams, 17 hits. 1 error in this game from the Garnet. A fastball catching the outside part of the plate. Cottom still has his location. I know he walked leader, but he missed 2 pitches by a matter of centimeters, and he's ahead of the count here on Norton. Coming out wide to his right is Wilson Hensey. Hensey and Buckman, you don't lose anything defensively between those two. Overall, Buckman probably the better stick, but defensively,
Yeah,
they're both excellent. Leaning the wrong way, but getting back just in time is Fleeter. There's a lot of baseball still to be played in 2025, but if you look at the lineup right now, the 8 fielders for the Garnet, 6 of the 8 are underclassmen. Hard hit, past Kittredge into right field, stopping at second base, dropping the ball for a second, but getting back on it is Sullivan. So a walk and a single.
I got number 9, Daniel Rossman.
And here's Rossman. It's the bottom of the order getting to Home now, which is a dangerous situation to be in with the idea that Gent is going to be coming up soon. But Buckman's a senior, Kadar a freshman, Sullivan a junior, Beedling's a senior, Rothwarg is a senior. So 3 seniors, excuse me. And the rest underclassmen. Kittredge, freshman, Kahn a freshman, Hensey a sophomore. And even Home on the hill as a junior. And we have a pinch hitter coming in. That's the delay that we have at the plate. Rossman is done for the afternoon. This is number 3. Kendrick Curry the second, a senior from Washington, D.C., batting from
I got number 3,
the left
Daniel
side. was thinking for a second you might try to move the runners, but you're down by 4 in the 8th inning. There's really no way he's going to do that. Unless he tries to do it by catching Swarthmore off guard. And here comes Coach Matt Midkiff. I have a feeling that the afternoon is over for Noah Potholm. And he takes the ball, and you're going to get a standing ovation for Noah Potholm. Potholm has done an excellent job into the 8th inning against one of the best offensive teams in the league in Haverford. A team that averages about 10 runs per game. Potholm has done an excellent job. We'll take a step away for a second. Coming in for Potholm is Pot Hoff. And an 8-4 ball game, top of the 8th inning, couple of runners aboard, nobody out.
Now pitching for the Garnet, number 13, Zach Pothoff.
Here comes Kendrick Curry batting .233 on the year. Facing Zach Pothoff, a 1.93 ERA, 14 appearances, 14 innings. He has given up 3 earned runs. He has been excellent for the Garnet all season long. Two balls and no strikes. 93 total pitches for Potholm as he leaves with the lead, on the hook for the win. That fastball misses low. 3 balls and no strikes. I think Curry's going to take a pitch here. He does. 3 balls and 1 strike now. Fouls 1 back. So good job by Pothoff to work back into this at bat. The count is now full to the lefty. A huge moment in this game. Garnet need outs here in the 8th. Bouncer, 6, 4, 3, safe at first. They do get an out. That's important. Close to the double play. They wanted that. Runners now at first and third. And Prusek comes in. Prusek 0 for 2, hit by pitch. And I got Genth on deck right now. Looks like we have a pinch runner at first base. I think that's number 6, Matt Dahl. First pitch fouled. So yes, you have Dahl at first base. Outside part of the plate, no balls and 2 strikes to Prusak. Again, you want to get him here. You put Prusak on, and then Genth is the tying run.
9.
An 0-2 pitch. Runner goes. Fouled. Back comes Dahl.
Yeah.
18-5 in the 7th inning for Hopkins over McDaniel. An 0-2 again. To right field. Prusak wins that battle. An RBI single. This makes it an 8-5 ball game. Leader scores. The second base is Dahl. And now here comes Genth. Genth 0 for 4. He is the tying run. The nation's leading home run hitter and leading candidate for Division III Player of the Year is at the plate in a 3-run game with 2 on, with 1 out in the 8th. The 1-0. Gets under one, pretty deep to left field. Playable, though. And there is Ben Buckman for out number 2. Everybody stays still. Baseball is a game of centimeters, and Genth missed that ball by a couple of centimeters. And that was the difference between a ball going about 310 feet compared to about 410 feet. And Jack Wallace stands in. He's 1 for 4. He's got the double. Again, every batter that comes to the plate right now represents the tying run here in the 8th. 2 outs. That pitch, like 2-seamer coming in on him a little bit. Hop needs 1 more out. And now he needs 1 more strike to get out of the 8th inning. No balls and 2 strikes to Wallace, one of the top hitters for Haverford. Came in with 54 hits. He's got 55 hits on the year. That is a big number. He's at 0-2. Bounces 1. Prusak reached on a single on an 0-2. That's exactly how he has Wallace right now. A bounce to the third, stepping on third, and that is out number 3 on the force play. Hop comes in and does what he needs to do. As we move to the bottom of the 8th inning, the Garnet looking for some insurance. They are up 8-5. Halski, right? Riley?
Now pitching for the Fords, number 13, Riley Grahowski.
So Treese went from right to center, and then no, I think that's all.
We're hitting the bottom of the 8th inning, and this is the last game that I'm going to have at Swarthmore this year. I do want to make sure I thank a bunch of people this year, making my life so much easier, so much more fun. You got the SID, Rob Cunningham. Ella's not here today, but she's been fabulous. I got both Abbeys. One of the Abbeys is here today. The Abbey, as she says. We have Lena's in front of me. I think you getting paid for just kind of hanging out today? You should definitely get paid because you came out today. But she usually runs the screen, but since she's not, she's just standing in front of me, sitting in front of me. So I want to thank Lena as well.
So, yeah.
Abdul's hanging out as well, getting the job done. San Marco was here earlier. We had Soph earlier in the year as well. So a lot of great people helping me throughout the year, and I want to make sure I thank all of them before this game ends at some point. Still got a little ways to go here. It's a close one. An 8-5 ball game, bottom of the 8th. We're at the top of the order for a 5th time today. Kadar, Rothwark, Sullivan. Treese, by the way, moved to center field. Dahl is in right field now. Take strike one. Riley Grahowski on the hill. Pitcher number 4 for Haverford. Grahowski is usually a starter. He's got 8 starts on the year. Popped up left side. Fleeter's there, and that's one away here in the 8th. Grahowski pitched on Sunday, and he threw a lot of pitches, so he's coming in really just to try to get Haverford out of this inning defensively. A 6.26 ERA, 4-2 on the year. Before today, 11 appearances, 8 in a starting role, 50 1/3 innings. That leads the team. Again, he's one of the top arms, but generally a starter. Opposing hitters are batting .322 against him. He has on occasion given up a long ball, 14 doubles and 10 home runs. With all the games from Saturday being moved to Sunday, it did make life a little bit more difficult for Coach Beccaria because he had to win on Sunday. So he had to throw his best guys on Sunday. He threw both Cohen and Grahowski as starters on Sunday because that was games they had to win. For the Garnet, they didn't have to win those games. They wanted to win them, but they didn't have to win them. They had secured the 2 seed. So a little bit more of a rested pitching staff for Swarthmore today. The Garnet hoping not to see Colin Lewandowski. He is their closer as Rothwark goes down to first. Rothwark reaching for the first time today.
That number 28.
And Aiden Sullivan stands in. Excuse me, not Lewandowski. I'm getting my players a little bit backwards here. Yeah, I meant to say Wyatt Madison is one of the top relievers. That's the guy they're hoping not to see. One of the guys they're hoping not to see. We have a timeout on the field. Ball found its way on the field. There's a lot of students over the fence having fun in right field. One ball, no strikes to Sullivan. 2 balls, no strikes to the junior. Sullivan has the biggest hit of the day, or one of them, one of 2, when it comes down to the biggest hits of the day. A 3-run triple in the 2nd inning. taking all the way there. 2 balls and 1 strike. He has a single and a triple. He has scored twice. Of course, the other big hit was the home run from Brad Johnston. The other way, foul ball down the left side. Two balls and 2 strikes. Good pitch. Basically outside the zone. Sullivan went fishing, unable to pick it up.
Bat number 27, Wilson Hensley.
And here's Wilson Hensley batting for Silvestri. Hensley coming in as defensive substitution with Buckman moving to left field. So you gain some, you lose some. And what the Garnet right now is losing is the bat of Silvestri here in the 8th. Down the first. When we do hit the top of the 9th, last chance for Haverford. They'll be trailing by at least 3. It's 8-5 right now. And we'll see 3, 4, and 5. We'll see Scrow and Full and Treese, short of a pinch hitter. Scrow has been the biggest problem for the Garnet. Down to second, getting caught in a pickle now. And Rothweiler is going to lose that battle. And so the base running error for Swarthmore, we've seen it before, and it ends the bottom of the 8th inning. And now we're moving to the top of the 9th. Haverford needs 3 runs to tie, 4 to take the lead, and they have 3 outs to do it. With number 13 coming back on the mound and Zach Pothoff. We're coming back. Coming back at the top of the 9th inning. I want to thank Karen McCauley, the sports information director over at Haverford, for all the help he's given me this last week and a half, especially with Genth. It's not easy putting together the stats on Genth with the calculator, but I can tell you right now, Genth 0 for 5, and that's been the big deal. He came in with a 33-game hit streak. And unless Haverford puts up a lot of runners here in the top of the 9th, we likely will not see him again. First pitch, left field. And Ben Buckman gets an absolutely enormous out. When you get Scrow out the last couple of weeks for Haverford, that's a huge accomplishment.
How about number 19?
And 1 out here in the top of the 9th. Anthony Runfola is next, Treese after that. Again, both teams will move on to Saturday. This will not end the season regardless of what happens. Both teams heading down to Baltimore. One will be in the loser's bracket, one will be in the winner's bracket, but both teams will play again. That's a difference between today and what we saw 2 years ago when Haverford came here in the 4-5 matchup. That ended Swarthmore's season. But that will not happen today no matter what happens here in the 9th and if so beyond. Coming inside, just missing the thigh of Runfola. He is 1 for 4 with a big blast. That 2-run home run in the 7th inning woke up Haverford and put them back in this game. He fouls 1, 2 balls and 1 strike. Bottom of the seventh in the softball game. Garnet was down 5-2. It's now 5-4. Bouncer and foul. They're trying to walk things off in the bottom of the seventh. They have the bases loaded, nobody out. So tying run for the Garnet, 1 base away. The walk-off was at second base again with nobody out in the bottom of the seventh. They're trying to come back in this one. They've been trailing ever since the 5th inning against Muhlenberg. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bouncer takes a bad hop and gets past Beedling into left field. A base runner. That's a hit for Runfola. Really nothing Beedling can do, and it took that awkward hop.
Number 10, Luke Treese.
And here's Treese. Treese, 0 for 3. He's been hit by pitch. Garnet, they need 2 more outs here in the top of the 9th to pick up a season sweep of Haverford. Of course, it's possible these 2 teams could play again tomorrow. I'm sorry, on Saturday, not tomorrow. I'm so excited I want them to play tomorrow. But on Saturday, if they did, they would play the final game on Saturday, which would be an elimination game. If things stay the way they are right now, the Garnet will play Hopkins, right to shortstop and past Rothwarg in the left field. And this brings a tying run to the plate. I'm going to stop prognosticating as this game continues to get closer and closer.
How about it? Number 2, Johnny Fleeter.
Here's Fleeter. His 5th at bat. He has singled and scored. He has walked unscored. Got the righty-righty matchup now. And he represents the tying run. Fleeter with 4 home runs on the year. Let me check my stats there. Hold on 1 second. Yes, 4 home runs on the year for Fleeter. There would not be a bigger one here if he could go deep. Garnet has the guy they want on the hill right now. One ball, no strikes to Fleeter. Give me a little play-by-play in both games right now. 5-5 now. Swarthmore Muhlenberg in that softball game. Still nobody out there. The base is loaded. They're looking real good right now to walk it off. A 1-0 pitch to Fleeter coming your way with 2 runners aboard. 2 balls and no strikes now. We have Norton on deck. There are not a lot of holes in this offensive lineup for Haverford. A bounce to the short. 6, 4, 3, and that will do it. A double play ends the day. The Garnet pick up a win, 8-5 your final. Rothward to Kittredge to Kahn. And Swarthmore moves into the winner's bracket down in Baltimore. The 24th win of the year, 24-16 for Haverford, falling to 22-15 on the year. Hugh Hall & Oates. 3 straight wins for the Garnet over the Fords. This was a good one. First 2 games were blowouts. This one, a nail-biter all the way. And defense gets the job done. Pothole gets the win. He is 7-2 on the year. Todd Hoff gets the save. That's his 2nd of the year. An exciting game. I'm glad you guys were able to come on board via Zoom. Sorry it was not exactly what we were hoping for, but at least we got to watch some baseball today. So for me, as we wrap things up and close here, I do want to thank the entire Swarthmore family, from the fans to the parents, family members, administrators, coaches, and players. Season will continue, but my time behind the mic in 2025 is ending. I'm excited for both teams as they head to Baltimore for this weekend. Again, the Fords will take on Muhlenberg to start off Saturday. Garnet will face the top-seeded Blue Jays of Hopkins in the early afternoon game. So some baseball to go in 2025. But for me, my time is up in 2025. Thank you, everybody. Signing off. Until next year, this is Matt Fine from Clothier Field. Take care, everybody.
During the baseball game, it'll be okay.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. Really appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Matt.